Second, people put too much emphasis on tank versus tank comparisons. Don't get me wrong, just like any other World War II nerd, I love looking at the stats of one tank in comparison to another because I find it interesting, but these comparisons are basically useless at determining how effective a tank was on the battlefield. Despite what some people may imagine, tank strategy during World War II did not consist of each side sending their best tank to duel it out in the town square at high noon. Tanks often worked hand in hand with the infantry to assault enemy positions, and even though, of course, tanks did encounter other tanks at times, enemy tanks only made up about 15% of the targets fired upon by US tanks during the war, according to a US Army report. The majority of targets were things like buildings, fortifications, enemy personnel, anti-tank guns, other vehicles, etc. In addition to the fact that it was somewhat rare for these tanks to actually be duking it out with one another, these comparisons are often super unrealistic and stacked against the Sherman. Oh, you're telling me the Sherman medium tank had thinner armor and a smaller gun than the German King Tiger heavy tank? Well, that must mean the Sherman was a terrible design. Sorry, I'm kind of laying the sarcasm on thick today, but that is a real conclusion I see people make from that comparison, and it's just nonsense. Many of the tanks that the Sherman is often directly compared to were not in the same class and were not frequently encountered by Shermans. For example, many people say there are only 3 verified cases of US troops encountering German Tiger 1s from Normandy through the end of the war. Those numbers are really hard to hammer down though, because US troops were really bad at identifying German tanks and would often report other German tanks as being Tigers.